Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to CX Angling. Today, as you can tell by the title, we are going to do a full-on kayak review of my Hobie PA-12 360 that I've been fishing out of for about 4 years now. You guys are probably wondering, where is the Red Willow video? I'm gonna spare you guys the time of having to watch me struggle. I literally went to Nebraska to catch like 4 bass and 2 tiger muskie, which is pretty cool. My first tiger muskies I've ever caught. I'll leave a little bit of how I went right here.
Are you kidding me? Oh, it's a tiger muskie.
But apart from that, I guess we're gonna go through the whole setup of my kayak, and then at the end we'll talk about, you know, the reasons why I went with the Hobie PA-12 360, because I get that a lot of questions about that. It's gonna be a long one, so stay tuned.
All right, so I guess we'll start at the front. So right here we've got the Minn Kota Terrova. This is the 55-pound thrust. Comes with the universal transducer built into the motor. Got I believe a TH Marine little prop nut here. I absolutely love the Minn Kota Terrova. So a lot of you guys know, I got a Motor Guide XI3, had issues with it, returned it immediately, got the Minn Kota, cut the shaft, put it on, and ever since then it's been working flawless. I also do have the foot pedal that goes with it, and that makes a huge difference, not having to fidget with the remote the whole time while you're fishing. You could basically eat a sandwich and steer your way to your next spot. Anyways, I have it mounted to a quick release plate, as you guys will see right here. And then that is mounted to the One Objective bow mount adapter plate. It basically, all it does is you take off your handle, you put this bracket here, and then it's kind of like a spacer. They supply you with some longer bolts, easy installation, and then you just replace the screws up here with the screws they supply. Very simple, no drilling. I haven't drilled into this kayak whatsoever. Anyways, really easy to use. There's a little pedal here that you basically step on and you push to deploy it. And then same thing to stow it. You basically push it down and pull it back up. Really easy. I absolutely love this motor. I've had this motor for about 2 years now. Let's go ahead and take it off. So it's really simple, just this little bracket. It does have a little hole for you to put a lock on, or like a pin, so it prevents this bracket or this pin from coming out. And all it is you just lift it up and take it off. So super simple. We'll put that here for right now. So this is that little adapter plate right there. So over here we've got the hatch. So there's another cool thing. I love the big open hatch. I don't like any dividers. It allows you to make it whatever you want. So a lot of times, a lot of people take this out and just have access straight to the hull. Sometimes people put dividers in here, padding, whatever it is. You basically use this for anything. I've used it for fish before, to put my fish in with ice. I've used it for, you know, extra clothes, plastics, batteries. I put my batteries here sometimes. So open the hatch up. And then this is just basically an insert. So this is actually the foot pedal that goes to my Minn Kota. I usually just leave it in here, and the connection just comes out to the side, and then it just connects over here to the foot pedal. We'll get to that here shortly. We'll go ahead and take this out. That's this guy right here. And this is the access to the hull. So I've got a lot of wiring stuff going on here, I know. But I do keep my net in here. I also got some first aid It's in a waterproof case, gotta be waterproof. And then got some dude wipes in there, all my wiring for the OMNIA 2000. I've got my Garmin SteadyCast, which I don't know if you guys will be able to see. It's right there. That basically tells your graphs which way the boat is pointing so that it doesn't have to really guess. The nice thing is if you're on a pinpoint spot and you need to make a cast either parallel or a very accurate cast, depending on where you are on that waypoint, that tells you which way your boat's pointing, so you know exactly what angle to cast. Really simple, really easy. I love it. Actually, it makes a huge difference. We've got the Garmin LiveScope, the black box in here. We've got all the wiring. So this is the part where I actually cut a hole right here, and that's so that I can run my wiring to my graphs. The cool thing is I can still use the two horizontal rod tubes here. So this is the horizontal rod tube stagers. All they really do is you can put the tips of the rods there, and then as you guys will see there, your rods will just sit along the side of the kayak. And it is nice to have if you're going under like a bridge, if you're you know, going around where there's a lot of trees, or if you just don't like having rods sticking up the back so when you back cast you don't hit your rods. I like it personally for when I'm trying to just go somewhere where I'm only carrying, you know, 6-7 rods. You can fit 2 in each hole, and then I don't want to have to take my rods out of the truck, take the rod sleeves off. They're already in the kayak and I can just go launch and take them out as I need. That's a big plus. I've used it. I don't use it as much anymore, but big plus. I will say and we'll talk about this at the end, but the Hobie had a lot of features that made me really just fall in love with it. Anyways, my net's here, and usually when I'm fishing, the net sits kind of like that, or it'll sit on top of the graph, either or. It floats, so I'm not concerned about losing it, and it's easy to get to, and it's also out of the way. So I guess from there, we'll head over to the next section. First things first, we've got what is this? This is the dugout bait and tackle. I believe they call it the dashboard mount. I might be wrong, but all it is this nice metal, solid, super solid mount. You do have to drill into it to mount your graphs, but it is solid. It's not going anywhere. I could basically pull the kayak with this. I mean, this thing is solid. It mounts to the slots here that come on the Hobie. I like this mount a lot. I used to just run with one over here, and it was nice, but when I ran 2, or when I'm gonna run 2, it was a lot easier just to have them both over here instead of looking left and right. You do feel the weight on when you have the graphs on one side. You definitely have more weight, and you can feel it, especially on this 12-foot kayak. You can definitely feel the weight on that. But let's jump into these graphs. All right, so over here we've got the Garmin Ultras. These are the 106 of SV, so these are a 10-inch screen, dual 10-inch screens. Absolutely happy with these units. Absolutely love them. The resolution is amazing. Not the highest that Garmin carries, but for the price and the usability, everything else. I like having the hard keys, so you'll see with, I believe, the GPS maps, or not the GPS map, it's some other ones. It's full-on touchscreen only. I don't like that. I like having the hard keys, so when it's either snowing or I have gloves on, I can still, you know, cycle through the different views and stuff, right? So the clarity is amazing. I absolutely love these units. Have these with LiveScope, got the GT56 UHD under the kayak, as you guys will see, but been extremely happy with those. We've got my GoPro here session up here. It's mounted to these dual ram arms, and then it's got a little insert into the Hobie sail mast. Solid enough. I'm not worried about it going anywhere. This is how I get my front perspective looking at me. And then let's see, what should we talk about next? Maybe the foot pedals. So foot pedal here, this is usually where I have it mounted. It's easy enough for me to balance and have my foot here. These are all the controls. So you've got your autopilot, your continuous on. So if I push this, it just stays on to whatever speed this is at. Push it again, turns off the motor. This is kind of like it's only if you push it. So it's like a gas pedal. So if you push it, it's on. If you let go, it's off. You got your steer left and steer right. So push this to turn the motor left, push this to turn the motor right. I've also got a little another pedal here. So motor on, off. You basically can go down the bank and fish it like you're on a bass boat, which is awesome. And then my favorite, you gotta have the spot lock. And then we've got For the graphs too, I'm also running live scope, running the LVS34 here. It's mounted to the Summit fishing pole. The nice thing about this is that, cool thing is it's actually 3D printed. And the nice thing is that, so I have it mounted to this ram arm, and a lot of people are running these solid arms. But I'll tell you why I like this arm and this mount the most is because I've had multiple times where I forgot this was deployed and I've, run it into stuff, or even if you're in shallow water, or you hit running into, trees and stumps and rocks, whatever it is, it has enough play that if you hit it, you're not just gonna tear off, the arm or break something, destroy your transducer. There's still some play in there. Now, a lot of people are gonna complain that when you're getting up to speed, when you have a motor, that it starts pulling up like this. If you tighten down this ram arm enough, it's not gonna go anywhere, right? But it's still, if you hit something hard enough, it'll kick up. Huge reason why I have this. And then lastly, the other reason why is because when you have a lot of weight in the kayak, your kayak isn't completely flat. So with the solid mounts, sometimes your arm will be sitting like this because you have so much weight in the back. Or vice versa, if you have a ton of weight in the front, your transducer might be sitting like this. And there's nothing you can really do about that. So this is why it was a huge thing for me. I do change my setups depending on what I'm doing on the water. If I'm going far, if I'm just going on the bank, if I need spot lock, if it's windy, whatever it is, I will either run the bow mount or the stern mount, my NK300. So over here, we've got the center hatch. The nice thing is it's water sealed, just like the front hatch. Water sealed, all you do is twist, and you pop this open. Got a little net here to hold some stuff. We got a Leatherman, pliers, tools. And then this is usually where I keep my sunglasses, just stuff that I need to get to if I'm constantly using sunblock, snacks, extra batteries, remotes, scale, gloves. As you can tell, it's a bunch of stuff, big old mess. And this is just another insert, just like the front. Pop that out, you have access to the hole. So I keep a sponge in here because, it'll soak up any water that does end up leaking in here, any moisture. Like having the sponge. And then I have a bunch of wiring and stuff under here. So I've got my Dakota, you guys can't see it, but I've got the Dakota Lithium 10 amp hour 12 volt in there. It's just tucked in there. And I've got a little switch here that runs the nav lights. So super easy, easy to get to, it's out of the way. I didn't have to drill into the kayak. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Put the sponge back in. And boom. Let's actually jump into the kayak to show you guys how I like to steer and stuff. So we've got, you got your foot control steering here. You can adjust the length that these pedals sit at. So if I can get it to work, see? And basically there's a lever on the back and I'm just pushing that. I usually like it on the fourth hole right there. I have it adjusted to what I like. And if you push the right one, it turns you right. If you push the left one, it turns you left. This is the view with the graph. So I used to not think that this was going to be helpful because they're further away. I'm always touching them. But after I fished for a while, I don't actually touch the graphs as much as I thought I did. I usually just have this set to either 75 or 100 feet forward on the live scope. And then I have the depth on auto, and I'll either be running my maps over here, or I'll be running, side scan, down scan, clear view, whatever it is. And then you got pedals here. So I usually have my Mirage Drive right here. We'll go into that in a bit. Got my catch board on the left side. So the nice thing is that I just tuck it right here. It's out of the way. It's easy to get to. The nice thing about this is that the Hobie is nice and open. I like this open layout. I can get up, move around, walk around, turn around without, having a big bulge like some of those other pedal drives have. I do like that this sits lower in the kayak, so you still have the raised walls to prevent your fish from flopping out. And then I typically keep my net like this, and I'll measure my fish right here. The net allows for a little bit more protection from the fish flopping out, and this is how I usually take my photos. So then over here, we've got the throttle for my NK300 by Newport. To get it to work, you have to have the kill switch. So the kill switch is on my life vest. All it is a magnet. Place it right here. Here we go. So you got your throttle and I believe your wattage. You also got reverse on it. And then over here, we've got some pull cables. So I actually had the knobs at the end taken off because I'm readjusting the length of the pull cords, but the gray one is my lift. So if I pull this up, it actually lifts and stows the motor. And I have it, I usually tie it in a loop at the end, and I have it around here. So I'll just hook it to this ram ball mount that goes on the H rail, and it holds the motor up in the stowed position, so that if I'm going over in really shallow water, I don't have to worry about that. If I'm going through thick grass, I'm usually just using my pedal drive. The green one is your reverse lock. So when you go into reverse, you have to pull this and, you know, keep tension on it so that the motor doesn't kick back up. So, and I'll show you guys that here. The way this is designed is that if you hit something, it kicks up automatically. So then over here, you will see that I've got these pull cords. So this is the kickstand. So this is the little stand that sits underneath the seat. So this is if you want your butt to literally sit almost on the floor of the kayak. I don't like that. That's if I was pedaling really far and that's all I was doing was pedaling, then it's not a big deal. But here is the pull cord for the skeg. The cool thing about the skeg is that these pull cords is if I pull the skeg, you basically can stow the skeg by pulling this cord, and it has a little cleat jam. And you guys will see in the back that it raises it up, stows it away when I'm putting the kayak on the trailer or anything. The cool thing is too, the skeg and the rudder do kick up if you run into anything, so you're not going to just knock your rudder or your skeg off. Got the same option for the rudder on this side. There we go. And then you've got one for the transducer. So the transducer does the same thing, and it's actually sitting on a plate underneath. It sits on this Hobie, they call it the Hobie guard, and it sits on a plate that if it hits anything, it actually retracts up so that you don't just knock off your transducer. And then when you're docking, you know, you're putting your boat on the shore, you're putting it on the trailer, you can pull this cord, lock it in, and actually sucks up the transducer into the hole so that you'll never scratch it, you'll never knock it off. Super cool features like that is what made me go with the Hobies. I guess over here we've got little pockets. I keep a bunch of scent. I like using scent on all my baits. As you can tell, I do have a lot of cleaning I need to do. I have baits and stuff everywhere. No, I guess I didn't even talk about the seat. So this is the Vantage seat by Hobie. It has got adjustable height on the seat itself, and then you've got an adjustable back so you can lean forward or lean back. And then you also have this BOA retention for the lumbar. So it's another really nice thing that I liked about this seat. It was very comfortable, a lot of adjustability depending on, you know, how big you are, how tall you are, whatever. And then I also have some kayak cushions here. These make sitting on the water for 8 hours, 10 hours, extremely comfortable. I don't even have to think and worry about being sore on my butt or anything like that, my back the next day. That's made a huge difference actually. So if you do have a kayak, invest in some good cushions. They don't have to be these ones, but I highly do recommend the kayak cushion because it is amazing. Love it. Over here we've got the Visi Carbon Pro by Yak Attack. I just have that mounted here on the Yak Attack little adapter, T-slot adapter, gear track adapter for the H-rail. We've got some rod holders here. So like I was talking about like before, you have the horizontal rod storage. I've got the rod holders here. And then over here, we've got my 60 amp hour 12 volt Dakota lithium that runs my dual Garmin's in the front. And then we've got the paddle. I usually just keep my paddle here. Always bring your paddle. And then we've got the Yak Attack Black Pack Pro. I've got 10 rod holders on here. I am still trying to figure out a way to put 2 more over here so I can carry 12. I'll probably just need a little space and a little bit longer screw, and I'm good. It's all tied down with these bungee cords and these clips that come from Yak Attack that when you buy the Black Pack Pro. Always tie your stuff down. I've set it up so that if I do flip, I'm not just gonna lose everything. Now, I'm not saying there's no chance this could fall out, but this is a lot more secure than not having anything at all. This is the Black Pack Pro. Got plenty of room for all my tackle here. I used to carry this big old Pelican case that my battery would also sit in, so it's all together. It was just too heavy and too much. It didn't fit in the back row seat of my truck. This is a lot easier this way. Over here, I've got my ram ball mount to ram arm to, you know, the PVC pole that runs my GoPro Hero 5 that I run back here to get the front perspective or the back perspective looking forward. And then back here, we've got the power pole micro anchor. I've got the cordless battery here, the basically portable battery. And this is a lot easier, so I don't have to run cables or run another cord to the front and through the hull. It's a lot easier this way. This battery has been amazing. I've actually never killed it. I've done, you know, multiple days on it and not killed it, use it a ton. And it's been nice when you're up shallow, either bed fishing or if you're just trying to put the boat on the shore and you don't want it to go anywhere. It's been extremely helpful. It's also got a nice remote that goes with it. So basically, if you double click down, it'll automatically push the anchor down until it's either at the max or until it hits the ground. So if we do that, there we go. Now it's anchored down, it's not going anywhere. If I double click up, it'll bring it up automatically and basically stow it back. Been extremely happy with this thing. It is very, very robust. I will say it is extremely robust. When I first mounted this on, for some reason the nuts came undone and this whole thing came off on the highway, and the only things it was hanging on by was this, and it was just dangling by this little thing. As you can tell, there's some road rash on her right here and stuff, but it still works. Nothing actually came off or broke, and it works amazing. So this is a Malone Ecolite trailer. I've modified it a little bit, add some improvements on it. I am using the Hobie cradles. I actually wet launched this kayak a ton. I've got these cargo buckles here. These are just basically a ratchet strap, but the cool thing is that you can, you know, hook them on where you need to, and then you do this, you just tighten it down. I don't over tighten, I usually do 2 clicks till it's just snug. And then to release it, you just hold this tab, pull all the way up, and you can basically it'll just automatically retract. So it makes it extremely easy. You don't have to worry about not having it because it's always here, it's always fixed to the trailer. I added some upgraded LED lights from the Malone Microsport. So these are water submersible LED lights, very bright, simple and easy to install, plug and play. I also extended the tongue about, I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 feet, and that allowed me to make it easier when I was backing up. It allowed me to wet launch the kayak without basically backing my truck almost all the way into the water. So it makes it a lot easier to back up, a lot easier to wet launch. Got the wheel here in the front, got a spare. I've also got a swing tongue here. And then I have a little step that I've added, and it's by Extreme Max Products. Little step that I've added so that when I power load the boat, I can just walk off, step on here, and then step off and get in my truck and go, basically. You'll see in my videos, this is how I do it. And when I power load the boat, I'll take this hook and just close it. You don't want it to be too tight, so just to prevent it from falling off, that's what I do right there. All right, so let's get to probably the second and most important part of the kayak, and that is what makes this regular Pro Angler a Pro Angler 360, which is this right here. This is the Mirage Drive 360. And what makes it special is that the actual drive itself, the propulsion system, actually can spin 360 degrees. This is a kick style drive, so you're pushing back and forth like this, and it uses the fins to propel you. The cool thing is with this, one of my favorite things is going in extremely shallow water and being able to just basically kick these up, and all you have to do is kind of like flap like this, and you can go in literally like 6 inches of water, which I've done before. Secondly, cool thing I like about them is it's got these kick up fins. So if you run into a stump, if you run to the shore, you forget to take out your drive before you're going into anything, they'll kick up, and then when you start pedaling, they'll actually seat themselves back into their normal operating position.
I guess the other really cool thing that I like is that this drive style, or these propulsion style with the fins, is a lot better for grass. As you'll see in some of my videos, when I'm fishing in really thick grass or extremely shallow and you know, some of the nastiest stuff, you don't get clogged up. I don't think there's any better time where I've had to take out the drive to, you know, pull the weeds off of it or anything like that. And that's another reason why I went with this drive and this kayak, was because I wanted one kayak to do everything. I can go on big water, I can go on ponds, I can go on lakes that they don't allow motors, I can go on, you know, you can use your pedals, and that's what I really wanted. I wanted one kayak to do everything I wanted to do. I go on ponds a lot, I go on big water. You can set it up for tournament fishing, you can set it up for, you know, just going out to have a day in the sun. That's why I love this kayak. All right, and then let's talk about the most important part of this kayak, of being on the water. And I know some of you guys already know what this is going to be, but it is the life vest right here. This is the NRS Chinook. I've got my kill switch tied on to the life vest for the Newport NK300. All these names are messing me up. And I just have that in this little pocket. I've got a cutaway knife here, so one side is blunt, the other side is very sharp. It's easy to get to, it's right in front of my face in a way. It won't come out, so don't worry about it cutting you. And then basically clip it on, zip it up. It's light. I keep my phone in this pocket right here on a tether. And then on this side I've got forceps, and I usually keep my keys and wallet right here. So guys, just a little PSA, please wear your life vest on the water. It does nothing for you if you're not wearing it. This is the most important thing on the kayak. And then honestly, you don't even know it's there after you wear it for a while. You don't even think about it. So I absolutely love it. This is the NRS Chinook, plain and simple. All right, well, that does it for the kayak review. I know that was long, I talked a ton, but I hope that answers a lot of people's questions. I hope that covered a lot of stuff. I'm sure I still missed and forgot some stuff, but the next time you guys will see me will probably be on a private body of water doing a multi-species tournament, but you guys will see in the next video. Don't forget, I do have discount codes and links below. I do appreciate all you guys that buy through my OMNIA reports, my OMNIA links, and my Newport links, or you know who you are. But I appreciate you guys. It goes a long way to helping me make more content and do more fishing stuff. So I definitely will repay you guys in the future with maybe some giveaways and stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.